Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing good. Are you a sound vibrational Jedi? Maybe God's people are. I have some theories. I did some checking on that motor that was made in 1829, and I have some thoughts about that. The so called inventor, or the inventor of that and other motors and different mechanisms, was made by a man born in Philadelphia, died in Philadelphia, USA, by the name of John Kelly, Kelly. Well, he made this motor, and I'll describe it to you briefly, the mechanics of it, and then go into my thoughts about that. But it was what they called not a male, as in man, driven mechanics, which is like explosion, but a female driven motor, which was implosion, is how they described it to start out with. And then it went into telling us, and I saw the motor, and they couldn't get it running, but and also because they want to make a duplicate of it and then do tests on the duplicate and that type of thing. And you can look into it. There's a man by the name of Dale Pond, like a pond of water, Pond. He has a it's in black and white, so it's like, and I did find it on YouTube. So the information, if you just look up John Kelly's, and it's called sympathetic vibrational motor. Okay, I'll tell you, well, I'll briefly describe the mechanics of it. Had two pistons. They were like offset, though they were different, and it had like the flywheel and the cam and whatever, and it was run with water and sand and like a vacuum, or what they called a hammer effect, like when you turn off the water in your pipes, and you'll hear in old houses the pipes will smack because of the pressure that was built up and the vibration and the sound on that situation. But what it would do is, just briefly, the piston would push the water up into these two separate orifices, and with the other piston being offset. One was straight like a bar, another one was round, and it sat in kind of like a circle. And instead of pushing up and down, it moved back and forth. And between the two of them working, once they got the flywheel working, it would cause vibrations in the water and just keep the situation going like that. But they still can't figure out really how it works. They could show us how the mechanics actually spun on it, and they did put it in a tub of water, and they got the theory that it was what they called a hammer effect. But that may not be the whole situation with the whole thing, because this man, John Kelly, pulled his energy for the machine to start the machine out of the ether with his mind. And it was said that other people would try to start up his machines, and they weren't able to do that unless he stood beside them, and his good energy would flow through them, and then the machine would make an attempt to start. Then I started thinking, and I had heard this information before and read about it a long time ago, and I kind of didn't know what to think back then, but now I'm thinking, I don't know about this. I think it was, they said Tesla and Edison also went and looked at these motors and different mechanisms that this man made. And I mean, they were elaborate. They were made out of like red brass and yellow brass, all the machine parts that he made and everything for these little motors and devices. And I'm not sure, but I think the one may still be in the Philadelphia Museum there. Okay, well anyway, I'll get back to my thoughts on some of that. Um, Being that everything we see and are was said to have been created with the word of God. And then I was thinking about these crafts that they have in Roswell that they said kind of showed up in the scene. What was that, like 1945 or so? I had been down there, and we only got so far as it was all gated off, and I bet there was probably even a good 10 miles before the hills and all the deserts, and I could see like different facilities out in there and everything, but there's no way. I mean, you really couldn't drive on past where the road said and not to go any further. you know. So, yeah, I've been to Area 51, and there's other areas out there too, and I'm not sure what they do in each area or what that's all about. Not sure, but I did try. And that was about I think it was 1986. I was on my way to Arizona. Um so yeah, it was desert with hills all around. I got sick there. I got valley fever there really bad. My oldest son and I. That's another long, very long story. Okay, back to these motors that are sound driven and the back mechanics that they've been trying to do on everything, and even like the mechanics that they say that ancients were able to use vibrations to cut stone and everything. I'm not so sure how much of even like Tesla or like I know like for instance Nostradamus was a Mason, so whatever he wrote was a part of the agenda to get people to believe a certain thing at a certain time, that type of thing. But getting back to the sound vibrational thing, we all know that they changed the hertz of music. They're trying to change the hertz of the world. CERN's in from the third to the fifth going to be back in motion, and it's said that they're trying to tear a rip in the veil and bring whatever is there here or whatever. But what if just regular human beings had a voice pattern that came from God and wasn't even recognized by anything on this planet? It's just a thought. And I don't believe that this John Kelly did that. I really don't. And then they said the information was hidden because it would be too dangerous for people to have that type of uh, God knows what they could do with these motors and different types of mechanisms like that. If you could just think about it, like what if you were a thought Jedi in the ether and you could make a ship like the Navigator, that show, just show up and you were like an actual vibrational Jedi with not your words but your thoughts. And that's something they cannot capture or stop. They might be able to fog us up a little bit with all their crap, but I believe when um, God's got this power He's given His kids, and there is nothing they're going to be able to do to stop the energy that we can gather out of the ether. Satan can talk in it at us, but he can't move in it. Well, he can project thoughts into us through it, you know. But I think our capabilities are more um, tangible, more real, more physical when you're actually talking about physics and God creating the physics to begin with. All that is physical, and they're looking for a particle, they say, that makes up all matter and dark matter. Um, I think that that's probably uh, the mechanics of that is beyond human comprehension. That's what I think, personally, unless God were to give that to some people. And perhaps I'm absolutely wrong. Maybe this John Kelly did have something going on within his spirit that he could walk up and his little machine would just start working. And then when he was gone, people would try and do that and they still can't make it work. I think they can't make it work because they were trying to back engineer things that God was capable of doing and maybe had shown mankind in the past, but took the knowledge away from everybody because of what they were using it for, like war, power, control, those types of things. So I do believe in the theory of pulling energy out of the ether and applying it. And I don't think, I know that's a God given thing. And I know that these mad scientists are not capable of duplicating that. Not with words, not with thought patterns, not with anything that is on this plane of existence, and surely not anything they're going to try and grab from out there. Because God's told my soul all this crap that they're trying to put fear into everybody. Um, when the day comes, it's going to be just like turning on a light. We're all just going to know things that the bad ones don't. And I think they fear that day. I really do. They've been doing everything they possibly can to poison us, keep us retarded, or, teach our children wrong, whatever the case may be, you know? So, just some of my thoughts on that vibrational motor. Um, I believe there are machines like that. Many, many, many. I just don't believe that anybody on this planet has the capability of conjuring the energy that it takes to, like, if you wanted to call your ship to you, I don't think they're capable of anything like that. So, and I doubt they ever will be. So, well, doubt, no, actually, I know they're not going to be. They've been trying for probably since ancient times. This isn't anything new. It's just, what are we going to tell them this year to keep fooling the next generation that we might know something they don't? No, it's the other way around, you know? Oh, did you hear? I heard a couple really interesting things on Biden approved $800 million to go to Ukraine. Um, Now, this I also heard that Putin has Ukraine civilians dressed as Nazis or dressed in these Ukraine uniforms in ditches backed up against, I think, it's bombast, but I'm not sure. They're backed up, like literally backed into a corner, and they can't move. It's like a stalemate situation, like there is no war. But the Ukraine took their own people and dressed them as soldiers to face Putin's army. Okay, there's a little more to that too. That the funds and the armaments that were supposed to go to this stalemate are literally going to places like Afghanistan and Iraq and like another Syrian country. Um, Something I can't prove right now. And I probably had the information. I had somebody tell me, and I probably ran across it, but had another project going on, so didn't look into it at the moment. So if you heard something like that too, I have no doubt. My instincts tell me that it's all baloney anyway. Just we have had this one telemarketer from Amazon calling and calling all day. So hearing my phone ring, and it hasn't rang all week. Now all of a sudden it's like the weekend and somebody's sales by telephone still in this era we live in. Unbelievable. I don't know. I Do they sell anything? I tried telemarketing. Man, did that suck. I had to end up telling this old woman I was trying to scam, with a vacation buying Kodak film that she might win. It's like, no, no. You're better off just buying your film, because what they do then is like they charge you for the shipping and just to get this form to fill out for. And I have my boss standing about 10 feet away from me. Well, I got sick of lying to the people. So like they kind of told me I wasn't needed there unless I straightened up my act. And I just told her that she was a prejudiced bitch and I wanted my check. So I got it and I left. And well, she told me I was going to have to wait. I said, "You didn't have to wait when you hired me, you know?" So, and then I said, "I'm sitting here until I get my check." I've done that a few times. People are really like, these were some scam artist people, and then they did get busted. Their whole company got busted for the scams that they were doing with this fake vacation stuff. That was down in Phoenix when before I went back to working in the hospital and I was going to nursing school again. And it's like, but I sort of quit doing that after a while too. Or see, I do like I was doing wallpapering too in private homes and different things and drywall and different things. So, um, whatever kind of work. And then I went cleaning cabins on a mountain. So whatever it takes to make my world go round is what I'm saying. Excuse me, gotta grab my ashtray. So, yeah, kind of interesting about them little motors. Yes, absolutely. All the mechanics on it run, and you could if you had it like um next to a creek, you could use it to, and you could put another valve like a check valve and just open it up and have the flowing water to use it like a pump to irrigate, with, and but there's easier ways with chutes and different things actually to make irrigation and energy right off of one small creek. All you need is a trickle of water for that. So there's easier ways and less expensive than even that motor. But that wouldn't be sound driven. And I really don't believe that he hung around with Marina, or not Marina Brown, Madame Blavatsky, which is from the Slavic Romanian dark cabal. So I really am not believing anything these people said. So, and she wrote an article about John Kelly. So I think it was like these days you'll have like these different, say, like YouTubers or websites that will act like they know something you don't, and they'll be flashy and they'll get your attention, but they leave you with this empty feeling, like they don't even know what they're talking about. Like I can actually explain how the crankshaft pushes the pistons up into a motor and will, whether it's electric or water, whatever the current may be, to make mechanisms run. I can explain that, but when I go to other people, it's like, but you're like telling me about physics, but why am I not understanding what you're telling me? You know, like you're explaining the physical to me, a scientific application of something, but I don't get what you're saying. But then you'll hear somebody, and it's like, man, I could have just told my 7-year old granddaughter all that, and she'd be kind of comprehending it all, you know? So, yeah. And I could name some names, but it's like whatever. They're making their money because they're affiliated with the organization, the conglomeration of fools. That reminds me of that song, Ship of Fools. Yeah, pretty interesting stuff though. And I am gonna check into. I've got one video of this, but it did irritate me when I got the vibe that it just wasn't what they were saying because all of it was unprovable. All of it, although it's like do you know like a Victrola or a hand-driven old sewing machine or something that's propelled like that? You can see the mechanics. You can see, or even like one of them old rotary beaters that you whip up egg whites or whatever, you'd go like that, and it was on there was a cogged, grooved piece of metal that the other, well, I wouldn't call them cogs. What would they be? Yeah, cogs. But they would turn, each groove would catch each groove as it went around, and so you would drive it with your hand and it would beat things up. um that's just what would you call it, manual mechanics, but they have not proven to me that this little motor was anything beyond manual, you know. So if it truly is and was sound driven, and our scientists are so intelligent, then why haven't they been able to duplicate it without it being any kind of torque or perpetual motion, explosion? And they say implosion or vacuum. Um, they haven't been too successful with any of that stuff. So I don't know. They can say what they want to say, but even the batteries on the Tesla car, the poison in them never goes. The lithium, it's poisonous to our planet. So why would we want mass quantities of batteries when there's a guy named Gerald Moran right here on YouTube that has a functioning system of generating. Once his coil gets the big coils going, they go forever. So it takes one spark. It's like the spark of life from God. There you are, human, you know. Um, but yet what I've found from this Kelly's stuff, it's not provable. Although, like I say, the mechanisms, it's like rolling a ball. Once you have the inertia, it's going to roll, till something stops it. Well, this is just going to go around. They can move the flywheel and make the pistons go up and down, but they can't keep it going. So there's the point right there. So they can't do it. It's just like they've been trying, I believe, to back engineer what they would call alien crafts, which I think consists of the pyramids Not just those ones, but other ones in the world. And I think they've been, and I think that's what's in Antarctica because I used to have these dreams about a spaceship in an ice wall that somebody I knew could just call it to them. And then I really freaked out when I found out I had one too, you know, and it was these blue ice walls in a cave and these ships. It was like they were encased in ice. And the biggest mistake that the countries around the world did was unleashing these machines that were connected to the humans that were alive at this time. They thought they were going to get them and back engineer them. And what they actually did was release something that would cause their immediate death. So that was my dream or nightmare or however, however they want to take it. And that's some funny shit, isn't it? Yeah. That's my foreseeance, pretending I'm Daniel and I'm talking to King Nebuchadnezzar, and the writing's on the wall, and the writing says, "Are you a spiritual navigator?" And Nebi goes, "What?" And we're like, "Exactly." No, you're not. Na 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 Nebi. No. So anyway, yeah. But so that's my dream for the king. I just interpreted it for him so he can understand what's going on. Yeah. They're not releasing anything with CERN. They're I believe using it like they have them boring machines and different things that can go like what is it 7 miles or 21 miles or 7 miles an hour and 20 miles per hour and 21 miles a day or something through solid rock. I think they're doing the similar type of thing with in the ice in the earth. Um, I honestly believe in the firmament and the separation of waters, and I do believe that with like the Van Halen belt, they can't go anywhere, you know. But they can keep. I think we can see it. I think that's the veil that's being lifted. That's why they're trying to cover up all our skies because I think there's some fantabulous stuff God's showing us that we can't see right now. But I do believe there's going to be like a very strong wind to blow all the hell that they put on people away. I don't know when or how, but I believe that's going to be a really big sign of God getting just sick of watching us all be hurt. I think there's going to be a ginormous wind, maybe like the earth has not seen. And that might be um, good or bad for some people. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just guessing here. I've just given it off a lot of decades of thought, like what's going on, how's it going to go down, and how much are we going to put up with, and how much is God going to make us put up with, and are we truly warriors, and are we going to do something about this shit? And it's not a matter of how we're going to do it, because He'll guide us. It's just a matter of when. So we always have to stay prayed up. Stay good in your heart. I mean, yeah, if you're going to get angry at somebody, give them both barrels. You know, don't even mess around. If they're acting like shit, it's like shit over there. You know. But yeah, I'm not one for covering up my feelings at all. I used to, you know, but it never made any sense. It got nowhere. It's like somebody wrote, well, yeah. they keep quiet about stuff a lot of times. Yeah, that'll keep the peace. But will it? If you're living around a badgering jerk or somebody that's not of sound mind, and or they might just feel ugly and they're taking it out on you, it's like, yeah, point it out. This is the time that if you don't say something and they grow old being ugly like that, and you just sat by and you didn't say anything for your behalf or for theirs, because if they're not hearing the word of God come out of your mouth, it's just like teaching a little baby. It's like, um, I said no, and they're going to go hurt themselves. I said no, and the next time, and you're sitting, you got to yell, and that stops that little freak, and then you can get up and get them before they injure themselves. That's basically what we're trying to do here. We're trying to stop the little freaks before they injure themselves, you know. But I already know they're not going to stop until the very end. So I'm prepared. You know, I'm having steak today. I'm getting real prepared. Yeah, and I got to still do my exercises. I cut them down to 30 push ups and 30 leg exercises on each leg and some stretches and get my work done. And yeah, and I did say the other day I didn't know if I'd do them. I did them just like them. Couple. I took one break in 90 days of solid exercise. On the 9th, it'll be 90 days. And I've always kept pretty active, but I wasn't able to work out because I broke my arm in two places and my shoulder. And so now yeah, it's feeling pretty good. Not bad. This one too. Woohoo. Little bit of muscle, you know? So that side's pretty badass too. So it is. So yeah, that's what I do, and I'm not afraid to fight these monsters. It's like you're all flipping freaks. I mean, these people literally, the crap that they're expecting people. And if I get cut off, I love you. I'll just be back tomorrow. But just real quick, um, the things that they're expecting people just to be okay with, that is so unnatural. It's just like people calling me racist, which I have different races and all kinds in my family. It's like unbelievable. So, and or homophobic, same thing. But you know what? It's like if somebody's queer, I'm not going to hate on you for what you're doing. If you're making an example in front of a child, all bets are off. And if you're just a weird ass, stupid, creepy person, I'm just not going to like you. I don't care what you do or what you don't do if I don't like you. So, if I don't like somebody that's like gay or trans or whatever they want to call Peter Pan, I don't care, you know, as long as you keep it away from the kids and don't act like a flippin' freak around me. I love everybody, you know. Would I save somebody's life if they're a freak? Yeah, but I wouldn't like 1 second of it, and I've done it. So, all right, everybody. Keep your Jedi heart soft as you can, but wise as a serpent. All right, peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day wherever you're at. Happy Canada Day to all of you, and to the new people here. Thank you so much for joining me. And to the people on Bruce Seasall, I think I'll see you later on tonight over there on his live stream, which would be, oh, I hope I'm not missing.